Well, nothing could be more express when a sitting governor, in the person of Governor Nyesom Wike, directly accused the General Officer Commanding 6th Division that he had his own gang, armed gang, for the purpose of bunkering. He said it several times. Award-winning journalist Mahmoud Akuga documented severally but the Madam Black episode of how she expressly mentioned names and the procedures. So he even named the GOC. So the military is asking that Asari Dokunbo should name names, whereas the governor had named the GOC, had named several other persons. We saw all of these things were there.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of What is Trending. My name is Angelo. Welcome to Nation Voice Tower. I have updates. That will keep you surprised about what's happening to the political system in Nigeria. Updates that would make you think the religious system in Nigeria, both Christian and Islam, are being relegated to the background. Updates that will pertain to, well, conundrums that are bothering deeply the oriented polity in the country. Now, first of all, I will talk about the issue pertaining to a perceived bill to regulate the practice of Christianity in Nigeria. Is that not disturbing? Stay tuned. The chairman of the Human and Constitutional Rights Committee, African Bar Association, Mr. Sonny Ekwusi, has alleged that there is a bill that is about to be passed to regulate the practice of Christianity in Nigeria under the current President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. He stated this in a viral video during an interview with newsmen that this bill is a violation of Section 38 of the 1999 Constitution as amended that holds and speaks for freedom to rights, thoughts, conscience, and religion. This legal practitioner also stated further that the bill will erupt chaos in the Christian body as there will be no major freedom of expression. He noted that the president has the responsibility to ensure that this bill does not become law. Now, he said this because this is actually what is happening in the country right now, and he is part of the committee that he was part of the meeting where this particular issue was discussed. Now, this expose is very, very exclusive. Let you watch the video clip so you will listen and hear from the horse's mouth yourself. This is quite shocking. I don't think we're going in the right direction, Nigeria. Watch this.
Of course, it does violate Section 38 of 1999 Constitution because it is something that, and don't forget that Nigeria is a secular state.
Yes.
Okay, the state has no right to interfere in the way religion is practiced. There's a separation between the state and the church. The state cannot interfere in the way churches are run because these are two different entities. But now we have this bill that's trying to interfere, in the way Christianity is run. It's even going and saying that there's going to be a council in Abuja, National Christian Council for Education, which is now going to prescribe syllabuses for schools at all levels, which means primary school, secondary school, seminaries, universities. So you're going to have Redeemer University, for instance. A council in Abuja is going to say, these are your syllabus. We're saying this is quite dangerous. We are different. Each country should grow its own values. We are different. They should leave us alone. We have our culture, we have our own values. We can't interfere in the way they run their country. They should not interfere in the way we make our laws. You are talking about the 10th Assembly, and that they should be very careful. Yes, we think they should not only that they should not be rubber stamps National Assembly, but also they should be wary of the kind of laws that they pass to make good laws for the people of this country. People are suffering in this country. Right now, people can hardly eat and all that. So what we need is good governance. We don't need all these laws that have to do with LGBT and all that. What is all this for? People are hungry, people are tired. They need medical attention, So if these people are abroad, if they want our own good, they should build hospitals. They should take care of our roads, electricity and all that. Or they should, give scholarship for education. But they should not be putting pressure on us to legalize all these things. That's where I'm coming from because I know. I have been in this for so many years, so I know what is happening. When you were in school, probably you had very good textbooks like Things Fall Apart, Macbeth. Now they have all changed them. Now what they are teaching them is sex-related things, you know. They don't have cartoons for babies, I mean children that are under 5 years. What is all this? Now this council is coming, and they are saying they are going to establish a council in Abuja that's going to recommend syllabuses. You know, Christian denominations are different. I'm a Catholic. I mean, I'm not going to accept things that is not Catholic. You have Anglican church, you have Redeemed, you have different churches. So how will a council in Abuja now recommend syllabuses to the seminaries and churches and schools of this world? It is a violation of human rights. As a lawyer, I'm saying that this is not acceptable, and that bill should be dismissed because it lacks merit. They are going to meet in Abuja next week. The people who are sponsoring the bill, they are going ahead because they had a Zoom meeting, and we told them, look, this bill is not acceptable because it's violation of people's rights, okay? Because I have a right to worship the way I like. You cannot tell me now, okay, start worshiping this way. Don't clap your hand, don't shout. No, it's my right. I know if I do anything against the law, arrest me and all that. But don't tell me how to worship, because this is practice that central to every human being. The right to freedom of, like rightly said, of conscience, freedom of religion, freedom, even privacy. Okay, so this is very very sad that because what it means that Nigeria is heading towards like China or the old Soviet Union, where religion or Christianity is undercover. I mean, you can practice it undercover because the state has encroached, and you're not seen to be worshiping the way you should worship. So we are saying that this is in bad faith, and democracy is about right of fellow people. I heard you talking about the 10th Assembly, and this is something that presidential democracy that promotes the right of the people. You know, we all have this right, basic right, and nobody should try to violate it because it's our fundamental. It's called fundamental human right. Right to freedom of worship, freedom of conscience, and all that. And we are in a secular state. The state has no right to prescribe the way you and I should worship. Section 7 of the bill describes the functions of this council, and what it says that one of them is to regulate, to collect, to certify of religious instructors, which means pastors, priests, Catholic priests will be certified. You need to have a license in order to practice your religion, which means if you are holding a Christian crusade, say in Lagos, and you don't have a license from this council, they will shut it down. We are saying this is not proper.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. Now, before we go further, I would urge our viewers, both old and new, please tap the subscribe button. Do well also to tap the notification bell, so you will be the first to get the notification anytime I drop new content. And watch the video till the end, share to people around you and people far away from you, and then drop a comment for us in the comment section if you feel any different from what we're doing here. And don't forget to like these videos. Thank you very much. Now, for the analysis of that video, the truth is Nigeria is a secular state and a federating state too, and every religion has to be respected. That is how it is. I will say again that approved in Nigeria are 3 major religions: the Christianity, the Islam, and the African traditional religion. Though the Christianity and the Islam are the 2 most popular religions in the country, and thus these 2 religions are respected widely and should be allowed to practice in their own view and how they want, with rights, okay, constitutional rights, let me say. So the truth is the UK and other countries outside Nigeria have been imposing sorts of laws and different sorts of laws on Nigeria as a country, maybe due to some sort of colonialism issues or history or origin issues. But I think Nigeria is now an independent state and should be allowed to practice its own laws, and to practice the enactment of policies, and also the interpretation of its constitution as it deems fit. Because at this point, I see no reason why a country as big as stable as Nigeria, although still on course, would have to depend on other foreign bodies to enact or to impose laws and policies on it. Now, aside the fact that there are perceived problems or perceived plans or a ploy to sort of regulate the practice of Christianity, we've seen and we've heard there from the lawyer and chairman of the African Bar Association, to be precise, the Human and Constitutional Rights, that's Sonny Ekowusi. We've heard of him telling us that there are also plans to impose the LGBT, the gay rights, the masturbation rights, and so on curriculum or in curricula in our schools, and this is not supposed to be so. Okay, so we would urge the government and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, to please look into this with quick and immediate effect, so we don't land ourselves into trouble. Secondly, I have another update. As reported just a few days ago, that Alhaji Asari Dokunbo, a renowned Niger Delta politician and a former senior agitator in the oil-rich region, met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is no longer news. At the State House, of course, where he revealed that the Army and the Navy are major players in the oil theft going on in the Niger Delta. That was a very, very strong allegation to make from Asari Dokunbo there. We're yet to confirm how true it is, but this particular update would make you know how immensely the Army and the Navy are taking part in oil theft in the Niger Delta areas. Now, reacting to Asari Dokunbo's allegations, Nigerian lawyer and political analyst Frank Tietie has stated that even a sitting governor then, that is Nyesom Wike, stated and had one time accused the general officer commanding 6th Division Port Harcourt of using armed gangs for the purpose of oil bunkering and oil theft to a high degree. Recall that after the meeting with Mr. President, Asari Dokunbo stated that he will do everything and can stake everything to ensure that his father, Tinubu, succeeds in office. He also stressed that he has vowed to stop oil theft and bunkering in the Niger Delta completely with every last drop of his blood. That was what conspired in the State House a few days ago. Now, Frank Tietie would offer us more information and more revealing news on how the Army and the Navy have been taking part in oil theft over time in Nigeria. Watch this.
Well, nothing could be more express when a sitting governor, in the person of Governor Nyesom Wike, directly accused the General Officer Commanding 6th Division that he had his own gang, armed gang, for the purpose of bunkering. He said it several times. Award-winning journalist Mahmoud Akuga documented severally, but the Madam Black episode of how she expressly mentioned names and the procedures for settling all military formations in the Niger Delta to enable them carry on bow fire. That is the colloquial name for artisanal refining, which was normal. So crude oil theft has been normal, perpetrated, overseen by the Nigerian military, but that the Nigerian military, members of the Nigerian military sent to the Niger Delta.
These are the people alleged.
Look. Let's not play down on the authority of a sitting governor, Governor Nyesom Wike. We had a president that turned a sort of blind eye to all of those accusations. There were no investigations. The chief of defense staff impeccably, eloquently speaking to the fact that they were going to, at that time, deal with the bad eggs in the military. Nothing happened.
He visited the Niger Delta.
That was dramatic. That was the optics. So Asari Dokunbo's statement in the State House
oil production
did not come as news. But why shouldn't we be that candid to ourselves? We had a Tompolo that was recruited by the government. We've seen this kind of outsourcing of state responsibility. The military couldn't protect oil installations in the Niger Delta. And then there were copious reports, security reports, that they were aiding the actual bunkering of oil in Niger Delta, to the extent that the government had to buy peace, outsource the job of the military to general, in quote, Tompolo, to protect the oil installations. What are we talking about?
It's Asari Dokunbo, a former militant leader, a man of integrity and impeccable, resume, to so allege.
Is this an allegation from Asari Dokunbo? We're talking about a man who led a movement, the Niger Delta Volunteer Force at the time. And he has severally boasted that all of these guys who run the military don't even know where these pipelines pass. They don't know any of these things. That only they, that is Asari Dokunbo and his friends, the Boilous and the rest of them, that accepted the amnesty of blessed memory, the president of blessed memory, Yaradua. Well, they claim that only they and Shell actually know these points and that they are just jokers. Yeah, the point is this. It is the connivance, the supervision of those who actually steal the oil. For example, for those who carry on this illegal petroleum refining, now connive with military officers, and then they go on. These are the claims, verifiable claims by the likes of Tompolo and Asari Dokunbo. The president, former President Muhammadu Buhari wouldn't have permitted that kind of arrangement that the NNPC and the other international oil companies, the Ministry of Petroleum, entered with a fellow like Tompolo if they didn't have believed them that they had superior knowledge of how to protect those pipelines. So it was a state compromise. Now, look at it this way. First and foremost, let it start like this. The military couldn't protect those pipelines, couldn't prevent oil theft, and then we had a sitting governor providing copious information to the president that the military was involved. And he even named the GOC. So the military is asking that Asari Dokunbo should name names, whereas the governor had named the GOC, had named several other persons. We saw all of these things were there.
All right. If you would know Port Harcourt so well, the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army was established sometime in 2016, and is the most recently established division in the Nigerian Army, or in the Nigerian security sector. Okay, having 10 divisions. The 6th division was the most recent, all right? And to be the most recent, that means from 2016 till now, there have been lots of oil bunkering and theft going on, as alleged by Asari Dokunbo, Nyesom Wike, and now Frank Tietie. So we would say that the army is supposed to protect us, and rather it is doing something else, as alleged by these people. So the government should look into this with immense authority and with deep concentration, because intels like this aren't supposed to be played with. The truth is, people are suffering in these areas, welfare and the national cake is not being passed to these people that own this oil, that own these lands, that own these metropolises where these oils or where this fuel or where this crude oil is being bunkered. Okay, and as such, this has angered lots of people to engage in oil theft locally and oil bunkering. Now, if these people are being caught, they face the long arms of the law, which is supposed to be, yes, so outrightly and constitutionally right. But now the people that are paid, that are being secured to protect us, are going against what they are being told to do, just like a case where the dog has eaten the bone it was asked to kept. Okay, the truth remains, according to Frank Tietie, there, that if you check the immense or the evolvement or the evolution of everything around there, you will see that there are hands that are pointing at the truth, that the army is involved immensely in this. Please, this isn't supposed to be so, because we aren't here for a sort of hide and seek game. The army should protect us. This was evident even when the NNPCL acquired the services of Tompolo and his boys to help protect the pipelines and oil bunkering businesses illegally in the Niger Delta, because Tompolo and his boys alleged once that they know these places, and the Nigerian army, I beg your pardon, don't know these places, and as such, only the locals will be able to protect the pipelines and the oil. But that was a sort of porous activity from the state there. But that is not our bone of contention. Let's see what Nigeria and the incoming president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will do about this. Finally, Alhaji Sanusi Lamido, on insecurity now. Alhaji Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, former emir of Kano, has in a viral video paid a visit to the president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, over the purported appeal to the president on the case of the massive bombing of 37 headsmen, allegedly by the Nigerian Air Force in Nasarawa State a few months ago. He reiterated when asked that it is a case that they will not and don't want to forget, and the president has promised to look into the matter. The former emir also spoke about policies and bills, and he also reiterated that he asked the president and pleaded for policies and bills that will go far in upholding and advocating for the girl child education and putting first the welfare of Nigerians as a form of civil governance for the new president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Watch the brief cutaway from the State House where Lamido Sanusi, the former emir of Kano, granted a press conference to give an overview of what he discussed with the president.
But also I wear many caps. I wear the cap of an economist, so I came to thank him for the steps he has taken to put this economy on course. As you know, many of the issues that we have been talking about, the subsidy that has caused a hemorrhage on the fiscus, the multiple exchange rate regimes, and so on, these are issues that I have personally been talking about for a long time. And I'm happy that on his very first day, he has addressed these issues and the markets are happy. And it is important when the government does the right thing for us to give them feedback. It's not always when they do a wrong thing that you complain. So he has started on such a strong footing as far as the economy is concerned that we have to come and support and encourage that we continue along that path and be advocates for the policies he has pursued. The second cap I wear is that of the Horejo Tabita Pulaku, and I'm therefore concerned about the issue of herdsmen-farmer clashes, and he's also concerned, and we discussed steps that will need to be taken to begin to look at some of those issues. But in particular, I came to appeal to him on the case of the 37 herdsmen who were bombed by the Air Force in Nasarawa State a few months ago, which we wrote a letter to President Buhari on. And we have now written a reminder because it's a matter we do not want to be swept under the carpet. And the President has asked me again to send him that letter, and I'm sure that he will look into the matter. The third major issue we discussed was the issue of poverty, especially in northern Nigeria, the questions of out-of-school children, girl child education, and how and his thoughts on that matter. And this is a big priority for him, and we would be again continuing with the conversation to see how we can help with ideas for how to address these issues, because without education in the north and without educating the girl child, you are not going to have an amelioration of the extreme poverty and insecurity in the north. So it was really about the economy, about the people, about his policies, to encourage him and to also make it clear that at any point in time we are here to advise, and he knows that, and I'm just one phone call away, and I'm very, very happy to have seen him, to see the mindset, and I wish him all the best.
All right, all said and done, insecurity will always bother Nigeria until it is tackled by any incoming government. And then about the issue of the bombed headsmen, 37 of them in Nasarawa State, that should be checked too, because the Nigerian army has a sort of establishment where you try such cases, and such cases would not allow to be swept under the carpet, neither will they be allowed to be relegated to the background. We urge all involved in this, especially the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff, and so on, to put all hands on deck. In fact, all service chiefs should come together, liaise with the President, and then including the Minister of Defense, and then bring out a plan to please deduce the killers or those who were involved or the perpetrators of this heinous crime, because killing of 37 headsmen with family, children and wives who have actually gone out to look for their daily bread, that happens a few months ago, is not really something we should take to be worthy of note, because Nigeria should be known as a peaceful country, although we've experienced high level of insurgency and insecurity over time. So the President should please have preferred solutions, or should have insecurity as his #1 plan, as he has marked almost 20 days in office. That is that from our table. I hope you enjoyed our updates together, and I urge you to please keep it with us in our next video. See you in my next content. Bye.